Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. Today I'm talking about stop running after her and see what happens. So one of the big messages that I'm trying to get across to guys that are single or they've gone through a breakup is that you got to stop chasing after girls, women that just are not showing interest in you anymore, right? So it could be that, you started to date a girl and she lost interest. Okay, because now she's messaging you less or she's trying to friend zone you. And the same goes for a woman that's broken up with you. You've got to stop chasing and running after these women that have displayed to you through their actions and through their words that they don't want to be with you. Okay, so one of the things that you have to start doing is gaining more of this self-respect, because when you're running and chasing after a woman, especially a woman that is not really showing that much interest in you, what you're showing to her and to yourself that what she thinks of you and how she feels about you is more important than how you feel about yourself, because you're willing to bend yourself backwards to please her. You're willing to be unlike yourself to please her, right? To try and get her to like you. Right? That's why you're chasing after her. That's why you're being so desperate for her. Because you're trying really hard to get her approval. Like, it might be that you're messaging her and explaining to her why she should still be with you, why she shouldn't dump you, why you should be her boyfriend. Okay? And what this screams to her and to yourself, even though you may not know it, but you will know on some subconscious level that you are not worthy. Okay? Because if you were worthy, then what you would actually do is you would let it go, because you would know that, okay, it would be great, sure, it would be brilliant if we could be together. It would be great if we could be boyfriend and girlfriend. It would be great if we could keep our relationship intact. It'd be great if that kind of thing happened. But I also want to be with someone who loves me. I want to be with a woman that wants me. So if you no longer want me, or you've lost interest in me, or you just want to be friends with me, then I'm really sorry about that, but I don't want that. I want more than that. I need more than that. So I'm going to go and find someone. I'm going to go and find a new woman who does feel that way about me. And one of the sort of like paradoxical things about this is when you start to care less about these women that you've been chasing and running after, when you stop doing those things and you become more strong, and you're focusing on other things in life, like other women who are interested in you and other things that you find interesting in yourself, like your hobbies, your goals, your dreams, your health, other things that are important to you, essentially. When you start focusing on those things and stop chasing after these women that are not giving you the time of day anymore, what these women will do is that some of them, maybe not all of them, but some of them, if this has happened to multiple women that you've experienced in your life, they'll start to become more interested because you're now strong. Now, yeah, true, it can be that sometimes you put a woman off so much by running after her that she'll never feel anything for you. Those kinds of things do unfortunately happen, but most of the time, if a woman still does have some feelings towards you, has some attraction for you still, she will come back. She will come back when you show and display more strong characteristics. Okay, when she knows that she can't bend you to her will, basically. And one of the ways that this kind of manifests, and you sort of see with women, is that they feel like they can do anything with a guy. They can bend a guy to their will, basically, if he's willing to run after her all the time, right? If he's always there, basically trying to get in there, essentially. So she knows then, if she sees a guy doing that, she knows that she has control over him. And that's one of the things that you got to realize. If a woman can make you do these things, she has control over you, more control over you than you have over yourself. And that's something that is really important that you've really got to think about, right? If your emotions override you, right, your emotions, this love, this devotion you have for this woman, if they override you and override your common sense, then she has power over you. And the one who's got the most power is the one that's more attractive, the one that's seen as more dominant. Right? So if she's the one dominating you over your emotions and controlling you in these ways, even though she may not be lifting a finger because your love for her, your desire for her has taken over, basically, you're going to come across extremely weak. You're going to come across as the one that is less desirable. And if you want a woman to start running after you and to start chasing you, then you need to be the one that becomes more desirable. And you do that by backing off. That's all you have to do. You just have to go into no contact and to not give her any more attention, right? Now, it may be the case that, you know, she's not exactly seeking attention, because let's say, for example, you broke up with a woman and she was the one that broke up with you, and you've been chasing her down because you didn't want the breakup to happen. That's not necessarily her, with her actions, trying to control you. You've just become obsessed because of the breakup, and you can't seem to let it go. Yeah, that's one of the ways that a woman kind of controls you without doing anything, and you've allowed that control to happen. You've allowed her to override your mind and your emotions, and this is something that's really important. You've got to be able to rein yourself back in when you start to feel these emotions bubble up. You shouldn't let anyone have that kind of power over you, because even you know deep down, logically, it makes no sense to be chasing after a woman that much. Right? Especially if you've been phoning her up and you've been upset about it and you've been trying to reason with her and doing all these different things, okay? And, you know, the same sort of story applies to a woman that maybe you started to date and then she suddenly started to lose interest. Like maybe she was interested to begin with. You started to catch feelings for her, right? And therefore you started to pursue her more than what she was pursuing you, and that may have put her off. Or it may be the case that things were going really well and both of you were pursuing each other and she lost interest for whatever reason. It could be like an ex came back in the picture, or she just realized she wasn't emotionally ready, or maybe it was something about you that she just decided she didn't really like anymore, wasn't that attracted to anymore, and then she started to back off. It's the same sort of thing. If she's backed off from you and you can't help it, you just have to find out what happened. You're like, oh God, I gotta try and get her back. I've got to try and get her interested in me again. I've got to say these lines, or I'm gonna go on the internet and find out some really good lines, to try and get her to like me again. Or I'm gonna try and convince her what a great boyfriend I would be. I'm gonna tell her all the things that I've done for her. I'm gonna tell her all the times that I bought her dinner, and whatever it may be. If you are trying to convince a woman who doesn't want to be with you that she should be with you, she has power over you. And you are saying that how she feels and thinks about you is more important than your self-respect. Okay, because someone who has self-respect doesn't do that kind of thing. They have the attitude of what I said earlier, like they would love to be in a relationship with that woman, they would love to be back together with her, whatever the case may be, whatever situation you're in, but they're not attached to it anymore, because they say, look, I want to be with someone who wants me. So yeah, it would be great to be with her, but ultimately if she doesn't want to be with me, there's not much I can do about that. I'm just going to take it as a loss. I'm going to move on and find a woman that does want to be with me. That's what men with self-respect feel, right? They see it as her loss, and that they're just going to move on and find a woman who does want to spend time with them. They're not going to run after her and chase her because she has displayed that she's no longer interested. It's just something that these guys just don't do. It may hurt, it may upset them, but they don't let their emotions override them to the point where they're messaging and always trying to be in contact with this woman to try and convince her otherwise. So it's really important that you get to a place inside of yourself where you have this self-respect of, look, it'd be great if I find a woman, but if I meet a woman and for whatever reason she dumps me or she loses interest in me, I'm just going to let it happen. I'm just going to let her go, because if she doesn't want to be with me, there's not really much I can do about that. That's her choice. That's her decision. So, I'll say to her, yeah, it'd be great if you want to be together, but if you don't want to be with me, then that's fine. I'm going to go and find someone who does want to be with me. Okay? And oddly, when that kind of thing happens, when you display that kind of energy, the women that are still interested in you and still like you to some degree start to feel more attracted to you and essentially come back into your life, and you can redate them or be in a relationship with them again. But by that point, some time may have gone by, you might have built yourself up a lot, and you may not even want these women back in your life because maybe you even found a better woman. So these are things that are really important that you need to take into consideration if you've been one of these people that tends to chase and become obsessed after a woman rejects you, dumps you, or starts to lose interest. And I've definitely been there in that place. I've been in that place where I've been rejected and then I became obsessed and wanted to chase down the woman and things like that. So I can completely see where you are from, where you're coming from with these things. But unfortunately, you're only making things worse by running and chasing after a woman that's now displaying low interest. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.